Welcome to another KDI Wealth Alchemist podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna shake it down today. We're gonna talk about something really stimulating. We're gonna talk about ethics in our industry. If that isn't a can of worms, I don't know what is, right?
Right.
So define ethics. You were a psych major.
Yeah.
I think one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? It's hard to capture exactly what ethics mean to everyone, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And
Because
generations,
it's your belief systems. It's, your individual core values. It's what you see as right or wrong. And that can span across so many different things. It can span off your religion. It can go off your political beliefs. It could go off your family's beliefs. So, I mean, it's really complicated when you get into the actual subject of ethics.
I was shocked the other day. We were at church, and the pastor had brought up a study about young people today, and I think if I remember right, the age group was like 18 to 32.
Mm-hmm.
And their belief is if they believe that it is okay, or if they believe it suits their core values, you're wrong. And by that, if they have a hardcore set belief that not everybody, if you have 3 of something, I should be able to have one of them, and so they take one, it's okay, because that's how they believe. They believe each individual person has their own set, that there's no constant, like for a community or a group. Or am I saying that accurately?
Yeah.
I'm in your world right now.
Right. I mean, it's human nature. It's humankind. I mean, we're all faulty. and so what if I did something and I found it perfectly fine? It could be completely unethical for somebody else. But when you get back to the core of our ethics and what we abide by, then, as an industry, then it's most of the time pretty clear.
So let's bring it down to, KDI. And I'm not even going to say knock on wood, because I just think we do things very above board. I think we're quite squeaky in terms of how we remain compliant in the industry and compliant in our business. Number one, we're a fiduciary. For the majority of our clients, we have that fiduciary relationship. And so we need to do what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about how you lead a group of people, because here again, we have young people in our business. We're fortunate to have really great young people working with our team. We have, I'm getting to be one of the older folks here.
Well, me too.
Got the gray hair going, and
you can't see mine anymore. I went to the hairdresser.
Is that ethical?
It is,
I'm just
to me.
I'm teasing. But the big picture is the way we've kind of tackled it, at KDI, is we have set up our core values to speak to basically give you a delineation of what our ethics are. Our number one core value is love people.
Right.
And what I have found about that being a core value in the team aspect, what it means is I can come tell a team member something that might be hard for them to hear if they know that I'm coming at it to care about them. Like if I say, I think you talk down to people sometimes, and I don't think you mean it intentional. It's just the way that you deliver information sometimes. Can I give you a couple examples? Because I think you might get along better with everyone if you didn't do that.
That might be me sometimes. I'm pretty direct, but I don't mean it. I'm just being efficient.
I wouldn't say you talk down to people ever. I say you say exactly what's on your mind, and that's very different. At the same time, in our culture here at KDI, we've been very clear about taking different types of, we've taken the Colby which is a person, not a personality quiz, but kind of how we automatically operate.
Mm-hmm.
So folks know that you're direct.
Right.
Folks know that I can be very kind and they can walk away feeling good, but know exactly what I expect from them.
Right.
Because the way that I deliver. Folks know that sometimes a couple people on our team might say things kind of off the cuff, and it's okay. But then how does that, so by loving people, it translates across our team that we care for one another. We back each other up when somebody, there's none of this, it's my job or that's your job. People jump in and help each other out. And then how does that translate to the client in your words? How does that core value of love people translate to how we service our folks that have entrusted us?
Right. It's funny because when I think about our clients, I think about them as a human, obviously. But I really humanize them. I think about somebody as my mom. How would I want my mom to be treated?
Right.
How would I want my mom to be, with this information to be delivered to my mom? Of course, I'm going to take the utmost care. And then I think about the younger kids that are coming up. I think about my children. How would I want them to learn how to invest? And so I think if you put yourself in and some of our clients we're really good friends with, and we have genuine love and care for them. I try to portray that across everybody.
Right.
Even if I don't know them as well.
Right.
You have thousands of 401k participants. You're not going to be able to know and love them all, actually. But it's like, oh, this is my neighbor.
So if somebody called you and they said, I've got a lot of money and I'm really worried about it. Well, in our world, a lot of money could be, $10, $20 million.
Mm-hmm.
In their world, a 401k participant, 20 grand could be a lot of money.
And it's life-changing.
And for them, it's absolutely as important, maybe if not more important, than the 10 million to the really wealthy person.
Right. And, that kind of goes into our next value is even if they're not the right fit for us to dive in and do a whole financial plan for for their $20,000 windfall.
Right.
But we want to help them to leave them better than we found them.
Yeah, leave them better than we found them means, if you're with us for 10 years and, you move across the country and God knows we have lots of clients that stay with us, but sometimes they want somebody in their hometown. When they move to that next advisor, in New York, we want them to look back and say, I had a great experience. And I hope you can live up to the same experience I've had with my other team in Arizona.
Right.
And it even comes down to, when somebody's not a good fit, or it's just going to almost be too expensive to work with us because of what their needs are so small at the time.
Right.
Talking them through how to open an account on their own.
Right.
The first few steps to take to get off on the right road and, kind of get a start.
Yeah.
It's interesting. With our varied backgrounds, at one point I was the chairman of a hospital board for several years. And I remember a story about a doctor who needed some help. And he went to another doctor, and the doctor kind of gave him some blanket advice and moved on. And that came around a little bit later when it turned out there was some real problems health-wise for that person. And it didn't end well for either one of them. And it goes back to, not giving casual advice.
Right.
Really caring for somebody. If somebody's taking the time and exposing, their feelings or their finances to tell you, hey, I need some help. Right. Give them some help.
Well, and sometimes their financial situation or their finances is more secretive than their feelings.
Yeah. Don't we wish people treated politics like that again? I'd like people to keep a few more secrets so that we could get along a a little bit better.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry about that. I
No,
digress.
that was great. No, yeah.
And sleep at night factor, when we talk about that, I mean, it goes two ways. It goes, is our client sleeping well, and are we sleeping well?
All right, our whole team.
Are we sleeping well by the way we treated one another at work today? Are we sleeping well by the way we handled our clients today? Is our client sleeping well because even though, the big bad wolf might be out there of a bear market starting to breathe down our neck, but they're confident because they know we've allocated them in many different pools? What else? When I talk about sleeping well, what else comes to mind?
Like within our team, it's really, we're a very process-driven team.
100%.
And
processes take out mistakes.
Right, exactly. So it's like really keeping those processes dialed in.
Right.
And so that, there's not any guesses out there of what needs to be done, and then we can move with efficiency and confidence so that we can help our clients. And when we do that, that confidence translates to our clients because they're well informed and they know exactly what's happening. They don't have to wake up and, was that done?
And everything happens the same way.
Right.
Whether you're in the Tucson office, the Scottsdale office, the Payson office.
Right.
You're getting the same experience.
And, God bless Shelly, who is our marketing manager, and all of the information that she keeps and the news that she keeps our clients apprised of. That is one of our big initiatives and has been for several years.
Hear it
from us first. So you're not hearing it on the news and like, what the heck? You're like, oh, I've already heard about that. I already have the facts. I don't have to wonder. Yeah.
And it's you and I have done this before, driving down the road. We can turn on CNN. They're all talking about the same stuff pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
We can turn on CNN on our way to Payson or on our way back to Scottsdale or vice versa. All of you that know us know we have homes in both places and we live in both places. We've got our home in Tucson when we're working in Tucson, and we have these trips and, up and down the highway. We call it windshield time. And we'll listen to CNN one direction and we'll listen to Fox on the way back. And by listening to the two of them, you learn quite candidly, they're not our friend. They're not delivering us news. They're delivering us emotion.
Right.
I wouldn't get onto an elevator that said soar and plunge.
No.
And every day the market moves a little bit. Oh, the market soared today. Oh, the market plunged today. I wouldn't get on that elevator.
No. I tell you this, I scroll through the news headlines, the Apple News headlines. And so often, if you just go back one day, and I challenge you this, go back one day, all of the headlines contradict themselves.
One day they're saying the stock market's over, it's doomed. The next day they're saying
this is the best market ever. It is ridiculous. So, yeah, it's really, and again, that goes back to the sleep at night factor. And it's just like helping our team and helping our clients and hopefully our communities by getting this out to more people. It's like, let's just get rid of the noise and let's focus on like what's actually happening here.
And when we talk about finding a trusted advisor, it's if you're going to trust us to handle things, you need to trust us.
Right.
And frankly, if you don't trust your advisor, find another advisor. Find somebody who you do trust, because that's paramount for us to be successful.
Exactly.
What's our last core value?
The golden rule. Do unto others or just do the right thing.
And we all know what that is. I mean, treat other people the way you want to be treated. And it's and again, if you go back and you look at this, if you really love people, so you're caring for them, you're thinking about the things you say before you say them, you're thinking about, did I educate them before they made this decision? You're thinking about, did I accurately disclose costs and expenses around owning this investment? And then you go to sleep at night factor. given them everything they need to feel confident? Have I treated my team well today? You have the golden rule,
which is really, I mean, you think about the golden rule,
all encompassing.
But it boils down to respect.
100, yeah.
100%. I mean, it really is like, okay, if I really respect somebody, I'm going to go over, above, and beyond for them and treat them exactly how I'd want to be treated in the best possible way.
And candidly, we're at a stage in our business cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't let people in the door that we don't like. If we don't feel like we could love somebody, like to the point where it's kind of like, for whatever reason, we don't get along well, or
just personalities don't match sometimes.
Like we're lovable,
yeah,
or they're lovable. We just don't bring them on. There's plenty of advisors out there,
right?
And there's a right fit. You deserve. Everyone deserves to be somebody's best client,
right? And there is a right fit for them. It's just a personality match.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, again, this goes back to ethics in the industry, and it's such a wide scope. But as a CEO of a, hundreds of millions of dollar firm now, what I find is if you get those core values in place and you live them, I mean, you genuinely live them,
every
and
decision
teach them to your team,
is based off of those core values.
The ethical outcome will be exactly what you were looking for.
Right.
So I hope that's helpful. I'd love some feedback if you're watching this podcast and you have some thoughts around that, or something, that you would add to what we're already doing, or something that you've experienced where you think would add to the ability to adequately lead a group of people or clients. I'd love for you to share. But until next time.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Alchemist podcast.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye.